Hey guys, Final here. You probably didn't think that I'd end up making a video because, quite honestly, I didn't think that I'd be making a video either. And I have my friends to thank for this, and I'm going to put you up on the screen right now for the people that have pushed me. And quite honestly, I have nobody else to blame but myself for being lazy to make videos. And if not, I just naturally can't because file sizes could be too big for my iPad. Or another reasoning is because I just am doing other things and I just can't make a video specifically on whatever content that is trying to push out forward. Whether it has to do with the series that I've been trying to do, which was either my retrospective videos or my manga videos as of late, for people to learn about or to just take a look at and just have fun and do something for KH information, because a lot of it hasn't been displayed onto today's, I guess, news or media. So I know we're in a kind of a dry season right now and all that. But you know what? I feel kind of like Jared right now. Shout out to Gamers Joint. I love you, man. I hate that I come back and I hate that I lose myself when I'm making these videos and then I'm just forget about this. I don't want to do YouTube. And then sometimes I'm just man, I should be doing YouTube because I know what I'm talking about when I do these videos. Enough of my rambling, though. I do want to talk about something for Kingdom Hearts. First of all, this stock footage that you're seeing right now is actually not mine. It is somebody else's. They upscaled it to 8K, and whoever did, thank you. I will link their video about it in the description below. All credits to them for the stock footage. I'm really excited for this, first of all, obviously, like everybody else. And second off is Missing Link news. A lot of people are not talking about it because a lot of people don't know, but I do have some friends in Japan, and I do know some of them that had the beta type prototype for Missing Link. And before, you could only open it to listen to the title screen music, and after listening to the title screen music, you couldn't log on to it. You couldn't play the game. But for Japan services, they have officially shut down Missing Link in general. No more Missing Link in Japan for beta type, prototype, whatever. So you won't be seeing it for a while. That's a good thing because that means they are either updating it or they are either going to release that bad boy soon. So be on your toes for it and look out for it because honestly, once that game comes out, I'm playing it immediately like I've always said because I've been hyped about that shit for a long ass time. But other than that, guys, I really do want to get into the video that I really wanted to do in the first place, which was the KH Chain of Memories manga. And maybe I'll either move forward or I'm going to post a community poll about some questions and ask you guys, but I really need your help on that. So thank you. And now with that being said, I'm going to go over the stuff that's different within the manga that wasn't shown in the game, such as the Doko demo, which is a show. We're about to go into what this show was. It was a really weird show. But I do want to go over first some of the things that happen to Sora while he does enter Castle Oblivion. He actually does end up forgetting about how to fight, but they go into more context with it where he can't even move his own body. But going back into the Doko demo stuff into Doraemon, which was the actual show that was made in 1973, is about a cat robot that came from the 21st century to help a boy to do his everyday life type of thing. The door is about going anywhere that he wants to, which is what they are referencing to, because in Chain of Memories, you think of it and you'll be able to go there. But the show was really, really weird because there were some scenes that have a 9-year-old and a 10-year-old going through the door, and for some reason, it always had them going into their friend's bathroom while she was taking a bath. And keep in mind, this is why I'm censoring it, there is a 9-year-old. They even had a petition that was made in Japan for the show in Doraemon that they needed to stop doing this because they were trying to remake it within 2005. And I don't know, that is just the weirdest shit to me. But I'm gonna go on to the next thing here. and that next thing in person is Axel waiting for him, and then they end up ripping the fight from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure while fighting him, and seemingly, even though Sora already forgot how to fight, he ends up remembering somehow, and even remembers a type of martial arts combat. But in all seriousness, we got some Dragon Ball shit going on. We even got stuff with Riku where he even says his power's increasing, and I just don't understand where this little homage comes from. I'm pretty sure that both directors, even Tetsuya Nomura, is really into boxing and stuff of this sort, because they have a lot of forementions of this kind of stuff. But back onto some other stuff that's a bit funnier and weird in the manga is more of Vexen and Zexion and Lexaeus all have a chore board, and they want to learn how to greet people even though they're nobodies and don't have feelings, and for some reason they really like vegetables a lot, which makes no goddamn sense to me at all. And then, you know, it's the same motif that they've had from the video game. You know, the basement people want Riku, and then the people up in the attic want fucking Sora. Don't know what that's all about, but they want some children, and that's not in my book. And as Sora goes up the stairs into another memory, we end up seeing a statue in Agrabah named GK, which is the initials of a company that is out there for real estate, and they own parts of Disney's like buildings and stuff for Square Enix's buildings, kind of like the LLC over in America. But that's pretty much as far as it goes with the Disney World stuff inside of the memories, only so it's just not rehashed into Chain of Memories, and Larxene ends up slamming Riku on the table, which is cut from the video game when she ends up grabbing him and forces memories inside of his head, and Namine is coerced into doing this, so Sora has to face, you know, new challenges and stuff like that. And then Vexen, when he spits out too much, instead of him getting snapped away, he's impaled, and Sora even says, "What the hell are you?" And Axel just replies with, "It means nothing to even disappear in the first place." And as Sora gets closer up to Namine going up the stairs, his memories are getting even more twisted, with Axel even saying his memories are getting pretty interesting, with Larxene reading a book by Marquis d'Assad, which is a French soldier playing a role within the 7 Years' War. And he wrote books on such as this, and I'm not going to be saying that, but I will show it to you. Don't know why it's there, but it is. And Larxene also drinks alcohol within this version, and she doesn't do this in the video game, which is really weird. And they have telecommunications via computers and not listening by the darkness, which is really weird. I don't know why they chose to do this, but they did. They also show Sora gets stabbed multiple times over by Larxene, and it looks like drips of blood are coming out of him. And they end up doing Fire and Blizzard in a Trinity, and when they do, it makes water, and Larxene ends up fucking exploding into multiple pieces, which is probably one of the most gruesome parts of the manga in Chain of Memories, other than besides there's another part that happens with Marluxia. But first we're gonna show some of the parts that happen with Lexaeus, and it's very short, but I do want to go into context with some of the things that are happening here. And keep in mind that Riku is in base form and not in his dark form that Ansem gives him in Kingdom Hearts 1, and they end up destroying the Room of Nothingness within Castle Oblivion, which is fucking insane, and Zexion doesn't even know what to do now because he knows that he probably can't get Riku, and they're probably gonna be done for. And as Riku's story is coming to a close end, so is Sora's. And Marluxia and Axel are seen fighting, and Marluxia ends up finding out that he is some sort of triple agent. And as in the video game, Marluxia tells Sora that he is willing to hurt Namine to get to me, but instead this time he actually tries to hurt Namine to get to Marluxia. So Sora ends up getting into a fit of rage, and whether or not Axel is sitting there wanting to fight or not, he doesn't want this to happen because if he gets erased, he says that it will become a problem. So he ends up leaving. And finally, the moment that you guys have been waiting for is that Sora, Donald, and Goofy end up getting to the 13th floor and reaching Namine, and they're going to fight Marluxia. But a couple of things that we need to go over first. Clone Marluxia, second form Marluxia, and third form Marluxia are not within the manga continuity. It's only in the video game. And Replica Riku is not here at the ending either, protecting Namine. They end up doing something else with him, which we'll see later. But as they do end up going through the door here, they end up seeing Namine tied up and tangled in thorns of roses, and Marluxia explains that you could say that these roses are a number of Namine's thoughts, which could be infinitely expanding because obviously within Chain of Memories Castle Oblivion, anywhere that you imagine in any room is turned infinite into size, which is another reason of why Axel and Syax couldn't find Ventus within Castle Oblivion, because it is an infinite room. And since seeing this, Sora cannot bear to watch it anymore, and he jumps up and says that I'm going to kick your ass. And then Donald and Goofy even exclaim that they are melting to some degree because Marluxia had trapped them in plants with his power, and he even says that he has no desire to fight with him because he's trying to manipulate Sora and trying to use the Keyblade to take over the organization and trying to get his way. But Sora is not having any of that shit, saying that he believes in Donald and Goofy and that he, even at the mercy of his memory, will still win this fight, and he ends up just killing Marluxia, putting the Keyblade through his skull and taking it out, and you could even see drips of blood coming from the back of Marluxia's head, it seemingly looks like, from the roses falling where it says, drop, drop. And that's pretty much it, guys. This is pretty much the end of the manga, and Sora goes into his pod, and Namíne goes to fix his memories up. Just like how the game pretty much ended off, but I don't mean to put this music over this part with Riku. It's only because there's not a whole lot to go over with the fights that happen with Riku, except that he just one-shots Zexion, and he ends up one-shotting Ansem. Don't ask me why he uses his dark form against Zexion and then he uses his base form against Ansem. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. There is one last thing, and it's pretty much just a funny gag bit that has to do with Replica Riku. And I guess I'll just go over my thoughts about how I guess I haven't been making videos and just about how I felt about this manga in general. And basically what this funny bit is that it's from the time when Namíne had shattered Riku Replica's heart, and he ends up just waking up out of nowhere and having a freak out attack, and then he ends up getting bullied by the real Riku and tripping him over and just trying to make a good luck charm out of whatever the fuck his leftovers is, and then him seeing multiple Vexens that were failed replicas, I guess. I don't know why they did that. I really don't like that because honestly, I would have preferred them going into some of the manners of like how they did in the video game, where real Riku ends up killing himself and he asks himself, what is death like? I mean, this is coming from a 15-year-old boy during the time of Chain of Memories, which is insane. And I don't know. I really did like the manga for what it is. And I like how they portrayed a lot of dark scenes. I like dark scenes in games and comics and stuff like that. So I'm really glad that when they made this, they just put it together really, really well. For the last thing, video making, I will try to keep making videos and I'll do my best. But again, it is honestly just thanks to you guys, my friends, who have pushed me to do videos in the first place, because I kind of just stopped on my own merit because I didn't think that I had any more room left to grow to make videos, because I didn't think that I would, I don't know, do good on YouTube, I guess. But again, thank you for everything on that. But yeah, still don't know how to end these videos off, but see you later.